What else do we do for families? The number one cause of poverty in America and Canada is sickness. Over 1.7 million people are diagnosed of cancer every year. Heart attack, over 800,000. Now, if you think about how difficult life is, that the average person is working 2 jobs, 3 jobs to make ends meet. Has it ever crossed your mind that you couldn't work anymore? How long will it last financially before you start struggling financially? If you start working today, from tomorrow, all you have is your savings to live off of. How long could the journey go for you financially before you start struggling? Even though you've been working for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Will it last 1 month, 2 months? Now, what if the reason for which you couldn't go to work is because you were sick? It's not just that you choose not to go to work, rather it's because you were sick. Would that make things worse or better? Do we all eventually fall sick one day? Is the day going to come we're going to fall sick? If the answer is yes, then what account do you have that replace your income? That is the importance of life insurance. Many people are not aware of the importance of life insurance, that if you have life insurance, the right time, with the right company, they will give you a portion of the money while you're still alive. If you fall sick from any of these conditions, heart attack, stroke, cancer, kidney failure, they will give you a portion of the money while you're still alive. Many people have the misconception of a job and have benefits at work. Every time you hear that, they refer to disability benefits that will last for 3 months short term and then 3 months long term, after which you lose your job. And even when you're on disability, they only pay you 60% of what you used to make, after which you lose your job. What happens after that? Because if you're down today with a cancer, you cannot recover in 6 months. Then what happens? Let me give you an example of the point I'm trying to make. Grace is from Ghana. 7-day Adventist. 2 years ago, we were all together. She heard the same information to which she said, I want a policy. I know I pray that it depends on God, but I also have common sense. I know eventually a day will come and I will fall sick. But little did she know it would just be 2 years later. She wakes up, continuous abdominal pain, and she followed up with the physician. It turns out it was not gastric, it was cancer. But thank God she had life insurance, the right type, the right company. And because she had life insurance, this is the check for $947,000. That's almost $1 million given to Grace. Why? Because she had life insurance. How many nurses do you know that have saved $1 million? That was the outcome. So what did Grace do with the check that was given to her? Because she's going with a diagnosis of cancer. That check, when given to her, she was able to pay off a mortgage and pay off a luxury car. Being sick made her richer. Can you imagine if she didn't have this check, she would have lost the home? Just reflect. If the same thing were to happen to you today and you couldn't go to work anymore, what happens to you? In that case, she was able to pay off a mortgage and pay off a luxury car. Her job let her go just within 3 months of her not going to work. She let her go. Currently, she's going through chemotherapy, but she's not asking for a check. She's not asking for a GoFundMe. She's not asking for a committee of friends. All she's asking for is prayers to beat cancer. But financially, she's better off. That is the importance of life insurance, having the right type with the right company. So once more, my job is to ask you, if do you have the right type? Do you have life insurance, the right type with the right company? If you don't, let's make sure we help you after this. Get you set. Otherwise, then we see regrets. Every time you see a GoFundMe, somebody is paying the price of ignorance. Let me give you an example of that. My good friend in New York from Cameroon, a doctor of nursing, who was making over $200,000 a year. I sat with her for over 4 hours and I shared the same information. After which she told me, Daniel, not now. I will do it, but later. Procrastination. I'm building a house for my mother. I have a school loan. I have a car loan. I have 2 kids. On top of that, I have to contribute $1,000 a month to my Susu group. Some communities call it Jangi. So right now is not the right time. I said, Doctor, I get it. But can we just do something where you're contributing $50 a month, and then in future you can do more? She said no. I said, how about $10 a month? She said, not now, later. So I let her go. But just 6 months later, she called me back to back 7 times. When I returned a phone call, why so many times? She called me. I want to make sure you saw my email. What email? I have sent you all my vital information, submit my policy. And the policy was submitted. But guess what happened? It was declined within 24 hours. Why? It was too late. She was now diagnosed with kidney failure, and everything I told her about being sick and losing everything was now right in front of her eyes. She saw everything falling apart. Then she remembered what I told her. But now we applied, it was too late. Just within 3 months of her not going to work, she was already in misery, and within 6 months, she could no longer afford a mortgage. So her friends came around to do a GoFundMe to help a friend in need. How much came in? 1,100. That's how much was collected for a GoFundMe. And within 6 months from when this GoFundMe was done, she was homeless. It's not even enough for 1 month of a mortgage. Can you imagine what is happening in Cameroon to the house she was building? Tipalitism. Probably gone. It's falling apart. Ramshackle. The worst thing to do to the poor is not being poor yourself. Can you imagine if she had just had something for just $10 a month? $10 a month, the story would have been different. She didn't. Why? She wanted something in future. Something is better than nothing. You can have 20 policies. Have one and then have more in future. If she had listened to me, she would not have been homeless. We see this happen all the time. People decline having life insurance because they are healthy and young. But when you fall sick, insurance company will decline you because you're sick and old. That's why the best time to have is when you're young and healthy. So when you fall sick, will be there for you. That's how we can eliminate GoFundMes from people who are sick. Having an income protection account, like that of Grace. And as I close, I want to share my own story, COVID. When COVID hit back in 2020, I had to close on my mortgage. And I was told, if I don't do $100,000 down payment, I lose the house. I called my insurance company and I said, I need $100,000. 3 days after, the check was cashed, and that's how I saved my mortgage. You know, many people are not aware of this, and that's why our goal is to correct the injustice, the financial injustice. How come this concept is not taught in school? And how come the average person is not aware of? You know why? Because the answer is in the tax codes. If you have a CPA, these are the tax codes of the last thing I just shared. 200 years after, the elites have been using it. Now, the one that everybody knows is called group life insurance. But group life insurance ends the day you quit your job. Many people are not aware. You hear people say, I have insurance at work. It's as good as nothing. Because on the day you quit your job, it's ended. And for group insurance to pay out, you have to die at work. That means if you're driving to work and you die in a parking lot, it's not going to pay out. You have to clock in before you die. Many are not aware. If you have a term policy, which is the one you see on TV, and now name for term is death, you have to die, which is the reason why many people don't want to hear the word life insurance. They're thinking about death. But the elites are not thinking about that. They go for whole lives about life itself. And the universal life is about life itself, not about death. There's a lot more to it. That is just a small piece of it. And that's why our goal is to provide comprehensive education in the United States. These are the companies we work with. And in Canada, these are the companies. Now, when is the best time to protect your children when they are born? So now it's time for college, they are set. When is the best time to protect your spouse? Yesterday. How about yourself? Today is too late. We see this all the times. Just like the doctor from Cameroon, I'll think about it, I'll get back to you, I'll do more research. People say I'll do more research, but they're Googling. Google is opinions. It's not research. Remember back in college, when you started a research, what you cite? Textbooks, peer-reviewed textbooks. They will say, I'll get back to you, and then they forget. Our goal is to make sure that we take care of you before it's too late. Now, which one should I get first? Which one is superior? Before you put insurance on your car or on your home, make sure your life is first of all insured, because your life is superior to a home and to a car. If you care about a car so much to get insurance on it, and you care about a home so much to do the same, then your life should be more superior. But a waiting game is a losing game. Why do I say that? Because if you wait, it's always a game you lose. Why do I say that? Medical condition changes anytime. How easy it is for you to be well today and the next day you're diagnosed with something. All of us have something growing inside of us we don't know what is diagnosed. And that's why it's good for you to have a policy before you get that medical condition, that medical diagnosis. Because it becomes a limiting factor. Lower cost compared to higher cost later. 1 day later, 2 days later, the price tag changes. But once you're in, you're locked in. Depending on how many speeding tickets you have, you'll not be a candidate. It's a limiting factor. Don't go to jail, and you have to be of legal status in America or Canada. I'm going to close with this. Remember how I said the banks were not in the business of making money for us, but for themselves? In case you're asking, prove it. Bank of America has 19 billion. Wells Fargo 17 billion. Where? In life insurance. US Bank 5 billion. When is US Bank going to die? And they've been doing this for 200 years, not 10 years, 200 years. They never told you. You know why? Because if they told you, you will skip them and do the same thing. That's why they've never told you. How about companies that own life insurance? These are corporations. Do you know Avon, Verizon, CVS? They own life insurance. But they will never die. Do you know why these corporations keep their money in life insurance? Number one, bankruptcy protection. In a bankruptcy, the money in life insurance is protected. The one elsewhere it can go, but life insurance is protected. Number two, lawsuit. In a lawsuit, in America, there's always somebody trying to sue. Imagine you own a home care, you own a trucking business, you own a nursing home, you're a medical doctor. What are the chances they will sue you? 100%. Now, you might win, you might lose. If you lose, everything goes down. If you win, fair game. But if you lose, the money everywhere else is fair game for target, but the one in life insurance is protected. And that's the reason why they at least love it. And number three, if your CPA is good, the money you put here is tax deductible. You ever heard the saying before? If you want to hide information from the public, put it in a book and you succeed. So I just shared with you two things. The first thing I shared with you was the opportunity we have, the reward we get for helping families, how much we get rewarded with, and the free vacations. Then the second thing I shared was what we do for families. But now we're going to move to the last part, the closing part. And today we are honored to hear from two distinguished individuals. We're going to start from the university faculty. We're going to hear from a stay-home mom. If you are a stay-home mom and you want something better, you want to make 6 figures and 7 figures from the comfort of your home, this is the time for you to listen to a true story. If you are a faculty and you're a professor and you're getting paid 40K, 50K, I want you to hear the story of our first speaker. So we are honored today to have in our midst an Ivy League professor, faculty out of Missouri. This opportunity found her, despite how educated she was shocked as to how, if somebody were to know about this information, she would have been the one, but she didn't. But she was happy she knew, and she was happy somebody reached out to her to share the value of this information. But after sharing, she had two options. Option number one was to say, thank you so much for sharing with me. Option number two was to say, I also want to share with others. And then there's also a third option. Yeah, I want to share with others, but I think I'm too educated. What will people think if somebody of my caliber is doing something of this time? Well, the third option was not the option she chose. She chose to be her brother's keeper, her sister's keeper. She chose to return the same favor by going above and beyond and helping families in the community. Now, many people are willing to do this for free, but we also get paid for what we do. Not by the people we help, but by the companies we work with. So today we are honored to hear from Dr. Mervis Tanda. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm going to hand it over to you. Take it over.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, and good evening, everybody. So I'm sharing my slides and we'll get started. All right, good evening once more, champions, and especially those of you joining us for the first time. So I've got a quick question for you. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for? I think as a community, we are grateful for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Why? Because his legacy and passion continues to inspire us to advocate and educate ourselves because dreams cannot be realized without financial freedom. Won't you agree with me? But personally, on a personal level, I'm grateful because I showed up on a Zoom. In the later part of 2021, I was invited on a Zoom like you today. And I just showed up because to me, no knowledge is waste. And that is why I showed up. But I didn't know things were going to shift for me just by showing up. So I applaud you showing up today because you could have been somewhere else. Maybe sleeping, doing dinner, but you showed up. You've heard the first part, but I want you to hear my story. I am grateful I showed up on that Zoom on that day because of the following. And if you are just joining us, I'm going to share with you what I got on that Zoom that was shared in the first part of our session today, in case you missed it. I was asked the question, Melvis, what can replace your income if you stopped working today? Maybe because of a critical illness. What is going to replace your income? Because critical and chronic illnesses are the number one causes of poverty and bankruptcy in America. You can see the numbers for yourself. My head started spinning on Zoom that day. And I was told that, Melvis, sickness is a matter of when, it's not a matter of if. Yes, Melvis, you pray, you fast, but bad things happen to good people. And even when we get old, the sicknesses are going to come. That's what I was told. I was equally told that Melvis, yes, you lecture at the university, but guess what? What do you have at the university? In the event that you fall sick, you will get short-term disability. And if you cannot return to work after 3 months, they're going to extend it for 6 months. And it's called long-term disability, which is how much? About 60% of my salary, not 100%. That's what I was told. And I was also told that Melvis, you don't even know that your hard earned money might end up stuck in probate. In the event that the Lord calls you home, I was hearing the word probate for the first time, and my head spinned even more. Because at the end of the day, everybody needs an income replacement account. When I left Zoom on that day, the conclusion was that there is America for the informed and America for the uninformed. So where do you belong? Before that day, I was not informed. But when I left Zoom, I was informed. And what did I do? I was grateful. My husband and I, we were grateful because the light of our hearts were enlightened to what God has given us freely information. It's free information, champions. Many people have to pay to be educated on what you were told today. But it's a blessing and a privilege to hear this information for free. All you got to do was just to show up on Zoom, and that is what we did. So, what did we do? We took action. What action did we take? We got coverage for our family. We got income replacement accounts. You can see some of my accounts. I have about 4 policies. What does this mean? Let's take one for example. You can see the dates is in 2021 when I showed up on that Zoom. The person who invited me, I didn't let them rest because I needed to replace an income replacement account to protect my income and my hard earned money. This means that, God forbid, I'm diagnosed with a critical illness, heart attack, stroke, cancer, you name it. Then I have access to up to 450,000 in this first policy. It also means that in the event that I cannot do 2 important activities of daily living, I have access to up to 450,000. What about a terminal illness? If any doctor certifies that I'm not going to live past 12 months, God forbid, then I have access to up to $500,000, depending on the severity of the illness and longevity of my life. What is additional service rider? It means there will be no GoFundMe. This company can plan my funeral for free, and my family will just sit and mourn. This is my income protection. What do you have? It's called living benefits because the miseducation is that somebody has to die for their families to benefit. No. Living benefits mean when you are still inhaling and exhaling. That is my first policy. The second thing I got from Zoom that day was that the banks are using my money to make more money. Another thing I got from Zoom is that, Melvis, you cannot grow your money in a bank account. So I decided to bank where the banks are banking. Check this out. This is still the same policy that I just showed you. Cash value of $20,000, and I can withdraw 8,000. This is directly from my bank account, and you can see the dates here, the 14th of January, 2026. How would you like your money to grow? You have options. This is the first policy, and this is the second policy. You know, Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better. That is why I got the first one in 2021. It came unexpected, the information. And then in 2022, I went for more. And in the second policy, my cash value, my bank account in this policy is $16,000, and I can take out $5,000. Again, when you know better, you do better. And that is why I went for more, $1,000,000. How much is in there growing for me? $11,000. What am I trying to say? It's one portfolio that does two things: protection and cash accumulation. How would you like your money to grow? I'm not asking you to get $5 million tonight. You got to start from somewhere. It's very important. Now, I want to thank my husband, Dr. Benson Tanda. I am so grateful. Why am I grateful? Let me tell you guys why. Because he joined me on Zoom that day. And after Zoom, he said, Melvis, we got to protect our income. We got to get coverage ASAP. He did not say, let's think about it. No, he took his PhD, put on the floor, and did what was right for his family. That is why I'm saying thank you. I am saying thank you because he did not let all the PhDs, the degrees, analyze and paralyze him. No, he took action because at the end of the day, it's for him and his family. I want to say thank you because he did not start calling all his uncles and friends in America to get their opinion to protect his family. That is why I'm saying thank you, Benson. You did what was right to protect your family. And I'm saying thank you because he did not only protect himself, the breadwinner, he protected the wife and the kids. Because we have come across parents who say, no, the kids, no, you got to protect everybody in that house. That is why I say thank you, Benson. I'm grateful. Now, when we got protection, what happened? The WFG opportunity was presented to us, an opportunity for financial freedom. Because you can't dream if you are not financially free. Because on Zoom that day, there is another thing that was said. The question was asked, Melvis, are you on the left side of the cash flow quadrant or you're on the right side? And I said, I've never heard about cash flow quadrants before. And I was educated to understand that, Melvis, as long as you are clocking in and clocking out at the job, you can never have financial freedom. By the way, Melvis, if you decide to fire your boss and become your own boss, it's still the same thing. The day you open that shop, you're gonna sell. But the day you don't open, you don't eat. And I was asked to move on to this site to become a business owner. And I'm glad I jumped at the opportunity because it's done a lot for me. That is why I want to thank my angel, my God sent angel, my destiny helper, Dr. Brenda, Shulailam, and Arvin. They reached out to us and said, Melvis, you guys have made a lot of mistakes. We have made a lot of mistakes. We want to correct them on you. You cannot make the same mistakes we've made in America. Thank you, Dr. Brenda, for not leaving us behind. So, for you who showed up on Zoom today, you thought you were doing somebody a favor, but learn from my story. I just showed up to learn, and my life has never been the same. So, I want you to send a message to thank whoever invited you to say thank you. Thank you for changing my life because tonight, everything about you is about to shift. Trust me. And I want to say thank you to my mentors, Dr. Julie Bisson and William Bisson. Words cannot express how we feel. Thank you so much for paving the way and for holding our hands. Now, you don't know where I'm coming from, but I'm coming from Cameroon. I'm originally from Cameroon. And my journey to financial freedom began in 2010 when I went to Germany to do a PhD in linguistics. Now, after completing the PhD, the winds of change, I met my husband and we flew to Australia. By the grace of God in Australia, I had a job as a lecturer at the University of Western Australia in Perth. But in 2014, what happens? We won the American lottery and we didn't want to come here. We did not want to come here because what we knew was that when you get here, you have to start from somewhere. We were hesitant, but we prayerfully considered the decision and for me to become a computational linguist because it's always been my dream. So when we got here, check this out. In order to pursue a career in computational linguistics, I needed a little bit of studies, and that meant I was going to get student loans. And by the way, my salary would also be capped between $150,000 to $200,000. So I got a job at Missouri University of Science and Technology sometime in 2018. Guess what? This was the highest I ever got paid in a month. I was in and out because I had my second and my last child as a lecturer, and this was the highest I got paid. Some months I would be paid 4,000, 3,000, depending on the number of courses I was teaching. But this was the highest I got paid. Now, check this out. How do you live on this when you factor in all of this on the right side? And that is why I keep thanking Dr. Brenda, because she has been to the top. By the way, if you look at this, if I had to go right to the top, to earn 150,000 K, I would have to put in a lot. Publications, traveling to conferences, and you name it. But she made me understand that, Melvis, I've been to the top, girl. I've been there. And there is a glass ceiling, whether visible or invisible. So when I left Zoom on that day, I stopped the blame game. You're going to stop the blame game today. You will stop the multiple jobs. You will stop the overtime. We will stop the GoFundMe. You will not go for that student loan. You will stop blaming everything around you, the government, inflation, weather, and taxes. You will stop. I was there. You will stop. I stopped the blame game and I destroyed the list that had come up with because an opportunity was presented to me. I did not understand it, but it was so sweet that I jumped on it. Because one of the secrets in life is for a man to be ready for his opportunity when it comes. Are you ready? This is WFG opportunity staring at you. It's been presented to you. You've seen it inside out. Are you ready? I know you've prayed for it because I prayed too for an opportunity, but it came in a package that I did not recognize. But being open minded, I jumped on it. Are you ready? Because tonight is not about Melvis, it's about you. Are you ready? Because this is what is done for me. You can see what we call academic power on the left, and you can see what we call economic power on the right. What do you think? From earning $5,000 to earning $22,000 in a month. Don't you call this financial freedom? And by the way, this is not even minimum wage on our platform. You've seen our mentors showed you people killing it. But this is my journey. I am very grateful, even though I'm not satisfied, working hard to earn more, but I am grateful. This can be your story too. And guess what? I was told, Melvis, you like stocks. You and your husband, you guys love stocks. You can earn stocks here. And this is the evidence staring at you. This is my name on a certificate. It's not on a piece of paper with Aegon. Go Google it. Go Google this company called Aegon. Mentorship here, I cannot stress this enough. I just want to say thank you. I am grateful to all these people you see on the screen. These are multi-millionaires. Who am I? Who am I? Your gift will make room for you, according to Proverbs 16. My gift has made room for me. And what is the gift? The gift of saying yes to an opportunity. It's not by might, it's not by power, it's not my strength, it's not my talent. It's just the gift of me saying yes to an opportunity. It's made room for me. Now, let me tell you guys something. In 2024, there was the urgent need to fly a very close family member to India for treatment. We flew this person to India, and I had to go to India and stay there and take care of them. This person is my dad. My dad was critically sick. We flew him to India. While in India, you can see here, I was in India at Fortis Hospital. This is how much I got paid. This is how much this company paid me. Leave of absence. I was not on American soil, but I still got paid. That is what this opportunity can offer you. And by the way, we spent a lot of money over there. We didn't take a loan. We didn't break the bank. That is what this can offer you. Recognitions on the platform. The little thing you do, you get recognized. Well recognized. And the vacations, Mr. Daniel showed you. I know you love vacations, but what if somebody pays for you? That is what you get on this platform. I've been to several places just because of helping families. Many doors have opened to me. Jamaica, Dominican Republic, I am grateful. I am blessed, privileged, and I'm grateful. This one is upcoming just from helping families. Guess what? I'm taking my kids to Hawaii. It's always been a dream destination for them. By the way, it's a surprise. But I'm so grateful because of this opportunity. If I had to take everybody to Hawaii, guess how much we would spend? This is what this opportunity can offer you. We are working hard so that we go to the Bahamas. You gotta join us. You gotta join us. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? Because these are the leaders that God has blessed us with, our upcoming SMDs. We are working so hard so that they can become SMDs. It's not about me, it's about others, but this is my renewed focus. I am super focused because Dr. Brenda reached out to me when I was still insurable, but there are many people who are not insurable. We went to them, it was too late. So you can see on my screen, this person declined, this one declined, a 40-year-old declined. It's not for everybody. Look, check this out. This is a 5-year-old declined. This is why the elites put in policies where their babies are 15 days old. This is another one declined. And check this out. Why were they declined? Significant mental health history. Mental health, they got declined. This is another case that was declined. Why? Because of driving violations. You can see this. Don't wait to get the next speeding ticket champion. Get an income replacement account like today. This is another person who showed up on a Zoom like this and said, you must put in my policy before we go to bed tonight. We submitted the policy. Guess what happened? They were lucky. It got approved. Guess what happened? All their riders were given. But what happened? They decided to cancel the policy. They canceled the policy. $1 million policy for a 53-year-old. They canceled. They canceled. A check was mailed to them. The policy lapsed. I begged and I said, $1 million might be too much for you. Get something small because something small is better than nothing. Please, this is 250,000 K. Just get something small. They declined to move forward. And guess what? A few months down the line, we got a cancer diagnosis, colon cancer. While on chemo, they couldn't go to work. Mortgage does not know if you are sick or not. Bills don't wait. Kids must go to school. Your spouse cannot keep their job because spousal support is needed. Why should we get sick for free in our community? Other communities, people are getting sick and becoming wealthy. Why should you and I get sick for free? Why should we die for free? What if they had not canceled the policy? Their home would have been paid off, their cars paid off. Financial burden wouldn't have been a problem. There could have been generational wealth transfer. But let me ask you, why did they cancel? Can you make a guess? Why did they cancel the policy? Is it because of Uncle Smith? My uncle said, is it because of procrastination? Is it because they Googled something? Let me tell you, is it because of social media, TikTok? Don't let anybody on TikTok influence you to cancel their policy because guess what? As they are going through chemo now, whoever on TikTok is not by their bedside to take care of them. They are by themselves. Whoever asked them to cancel, whatever review they saw on Google, they are facing the consequences by themselves now in the comfort of their home. So, what am I telling you? Let nobody get you to cancel a policy. We are not licensed to tell you to cancel a policy. We are protecting families. We are not destroying families. Never cancel your policy because I don't want your story to be his. You don't know tomorrow. And these are my final thoughts. We are fighting financial ignorance so that we save the next person because our mission is no family left behind. So tonight, please, please, I'm begging you, don't let anybody stop you, not even your spouse. Go find out if you qualify. Because, like Mr. Daniel said, the best time to apply was yesterday. We suffer one of two regrets. And guess what? Regret weighs ounces. Let me say that again. We suffer one of two things, either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You've got to choose discipline versus regret because discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. This is an event that is coming up. We are mobilizing in our numbers. The best event of the year. You cannot afford to miss this. Plano, Texas. Everybody should be there. This is one of the events that changed my perception, the mindset change that I have in this country about America and the American dream was born in an event like this. So get your ticket ahead of time. Do not wait until it's expensive tonight. Get a ticket. Let's meet in Plano and celebrate success. You will be shocked by what you see, how this opportunity is changing the face of the middle class. Thank you so much for giving me your attention. My name is Melvis Tanda, and thank you, Daniel, for being the light in the cloud of many. I yield it back to you.
Thank you so much, Melvis, for sharing with us today. I saw the last piece of that presentation. And if you can turn back on the hands of time, if they could do it differently, like you said, whoever made her cancel that policy is not even going to contribute to a GoFundMe. Let me tell you the best thing. If you have you ever thought about if you want to make the wrong decision, ask everybody their opinion before you make it. I promise you, you're gonna head out the wrong way. The wrong way. Call your friend, call your sister, call your neighbor, call your brother, and say, "Should I or should I not?" I promise you, you're going to go down the wrong road. You pleaded to just keep even just the 250,000, and she said no. And 2 months later, colon cancer diagnosis. And everyone else that had an opinion would not offer a dime for her bills. It's painful to see how the outcome would have been different, but because of misinformation from people who don't have a license, this family now suffers. As opposed to, can you imagine if it was the opposite? A $1 million check 2 months later. We're not going to rest until we help everybody. Thank you so much for being on this journey. And thank you so much for sharing such a painful story. We're going to move on to our closing speaker, who is from Uganda. Mary is from Uganda, and she's unbelievable. And the reason why I say that is because she is a true story of what I describe as America is a land where everything is possible. Because ever since she landed in the United States from Uganda, she hasn't worked any other job. She hasn't done anything except staying at home as a stay-home mom, taking care of the family, of the kids, and then doing this on the side. But the money she makes is more than how much I made as a nurse practitioner with $70,000 in school loan. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, somebody who just came from Uganda would have said, I don't think I can do this. I'm not used to the system. I don't think, not for me. Wait, not ready. But the person who just came is rescuing the lives of those who have been here for 40 years. Where else is such a story possible? It's happening right here. And that's why our closing speaker today, we're going to hear from Mary. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I'm going to hand it over to you. Take it over.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Fombo, for this amazing opportunity. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'll go ahead and share my story with you. Like Mr. Fombo said, my name is Mary. I'm a licensed financial professional. I'm a mother of four, and exactly what he said is true, right? So here's I'm on this journey with my amazing husband, Mr. James Butare, and he's the one who is behind me, helping me to do everything that I'm able to do. Well, where am I from? A little bit. My presentation is titled "From Homemaker to Moneymaker." This opportunity is for all, just like he said, right? A little bit about me. I am from three great nations in the world, the land of a thousand hills and a million smiles by blood. That's Rwanda. And I'm from the part of Africa, that's Uganda by birth, because I was born and raised from Uganda. And I am here in the land of opportunities, brave and free for the American dream, which I believe most of us are here. So, how did my journey to the American dream, the land of opportunity, start? It started way back in 2007 when I was a little girl, when I was in high school. I came here for the first time. That was like 19 years ago as an exchange student for leadership exchange program. When I came to this country, it was amazing. What I saw created a beautiful picture in my head, and I went back actually with a dream of coming back here to start a living and to work from here. Because what I had seen then, though I was very young, it made my mind like there's that special picture, there's that picture that I took back home. And when I went back home, I started trying to see if I can be able to come back here. I was praying, I was hoping, I was fasting for my coming back to America. 12 years later, the dream came true, and 6 years ago, I was back on this land. But now I came with my husband and four kids. This picture right here is that time when we landed, when we came. I started here when I had four young children. If you can see this picture, my last born is right here on my back, right? But back then in Rwanda, where I was, I trained as a journalist, and that's what I used to do. I worked in the media and public relations and communications for over 10 years. And then before we came to this country. But here are some facts about me. I dropped out of a nursing school. I actually came, I started a nursing school, and then I dropped out. I will share more about that story. I have no college degree in America. Mr. Fombo mentioned that, and I've never worked any job. Those are some of the facts that I like to share with people every time I'm sharing about my story. So I always talk about the fact that the person who hosts in this country has the power to either make or break your future life in this country. So most of the times when we come, we tend to do things that people who host us or people around us that are doing. So it's the same story with me. When I just came in, our host introduced me to the sewing school because that's what she was doing. So I went to the sewing school. Remember, I was staying home with four kids. And when you come here, you all know things change, especially when you come with children. Back home, we have people, we have support system. But when you get here, you have nobody. It's you, your husband, you, your wife, you and your kids. If you're single, you're single. Nobody's there to help you. Nobody's there to support you. So it's the same thing that happened. There's no way I would be able to go to work with these four young children. So we decided I should stay home, take care of the kids while my husband is the one who was working to support the family. But I looked at it And I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to, to support all of us. You understand what happens when somebody is working here, when one person is working in a family of six. So he was always looking for something that I can do on the side to supplement his income. So this is when this person who hosted us now introduced me to the sewing school. I graduated after some time and started sewing from home. I had a big dream. I had a big dream of becoming a fashion designer and building my own clothing brand with roots from Africa. So that was the dream, and I worked on it. These are some of the products that I was, coming up with. But I don't know if there's anybody who has done sewing before on the call. It's one of those hectic jobs. You can sit for hours and hours, and then somebody's going to pay you $30. Somebody's going to pay you $20 or $10. That did not give me the financial breakthrough that I was looking for. Rest, the supplement income that I was looking for my husband and to support my family. Then, because there was no breakthrough, it it triggered me to think about, to revisit the childhood skills that I learned when I was very young. One thing about me, I always brag that I have gifted hands. So I revisited the skills that I used to do. I used to have to do weaving baskets. That's another thing. If somebody has done it before, you know what I'm talking about. You can sit for hours and hours. Look at this. It used to take me about 60 days. 60 days. That's a whole month or 1 month and some days to make a basket, to come up with a basket that I would sell for $100. What was I doing? I was still looking for this financial breakthrough. Did it come? No. So I kept trying. I sold baskets everywhere. I would be at the beach. People would be visiting the beach. I would be selling baskets. I would be everywhere. This is I would set the tables out to sell the baskets to the tourists, because where we used to live, there were a lot of tourists coming in during summer. So I would be selling baskets everywhere, everywhere. But then when I was doing that, remember, I'm looking for this additional income. I am into nursing school. I am still a stay-home mom. I am taking care of these kids. And then something happened. This is my personal survival and death story during COVID. You pay attention, because all these things will come together, and there's a connection between. So during COVID, my family got COVID. We all got sick. We were down for 2 weeks. Remember how people were dying during that time? And then other people in the family recovered. My children recovered. My husband recovered. But COVID was so tough on me, and I ended up in coma for 2 days. When I came back, remember, everybody who was going in coma during that time, it was very hard for them to come back. But when I came back, that's when I started wondering, so what happens if somebody dies here? So what would be like, how would my children be? How would my husband be able to take care of these young children? Because anyways, he's able to do that because I'm left home with the kids. How? So I started asking myself and wondering how would it be? Because I didn't know there's anything that can help him in case I'm not there, or in case he's not there. There's anything that can help me. So my quest for these answers, for these questions, I kept wondering and asking myself, how would it be? What if? Like, I was looking for solutions. In 2023, that's when the refugee found me. He found me through this amazing lady, Claudine Blaze. She's the one who introduced me to this opportunity. And looking at this, 3 years later, I see that she came with the solution to my problems from WFG through her. When she presented this information to me, it made a lot of sense. And I started begging her to recruit me into this opportunity, because to me, I started thinking about somebody else who has like same issues, who has been looking for answers just like me. So that's when I made a decision of dropping out of nursing school, for me to focus on this and pass my license And that's when I realized that it is a double-edged sword. It has everything that I was looking for. So I started in here and I never looked back. But why did I decide to do all these things? My big why, number one, is my family, like I just shared with you. My family, we have 4 beautiful kids. So these were the reason why I decided to come and plant my flag here. And then my community. Remember, when I begged Claudine to recruit me here, I was thinking about that person who has the same problems like me. I was thinking about the person who has never found this solution, who's looking for answers just like me. So I decided to do this. So when Claudine brought this information to us, we made a decision and I took action. This is one of my 3 accounts. I have 3 of these. Um, when I'm diagnosed with, you can say I have critical chronic illnesses. When the doctor says I cannot, I have only 12 months to live, I'm covered with terminal illness access rider. And then I have critical illness rider. And then I have chronic illness rider. So this was the solution that I was looking for, because I kept wondering what happens if somebody is not able to go to work? What happens if somebody dies? This is what we call income protection. So I saw the solution in the information that she was sharing with me. And we didn't stop from, covering myself as somebody who this information came to. My husband also had 3 of these policies, these accounts. And then our 4 children, all of them are covered, right? So, and then she told me that there's a way you can make this account and become your own bank. And this is one of my own bank through my account. I got this, if you can see, I got this like 1.5 years ago, because this is when this opportunity found me. But as we are talking, this is my cash value. It has over 11,000. So this is, to me, I saw this as an opportunity and I couldn't keep it to myself. I decided to be sharing it with everybody who is willing to listen to me. I have a a painful story for one of our family members. When this information came to me, this is the first person I approached, him and his wife. I shared information with him. But he had a project that he was working on and he wanted to go fast and complete it. I begged, I said, this is very important and very urgent. You should first get this before you even complete this project. But he insisted that he wanted to go to Africa and then complete this project. And then he was like, so when I come back, we're going to come back and here and we'll talk about it. I am interested, but I have to first finish this project. And he went to Africa. He was supposed to stay there for 6 months to finish this project. But unfortunately, after 3 months, he wasn't feeling well. I'm always sharing his story. And then he came back. When he came back, because he wasn't feeling well, he went to the hospital and he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Everybody in the community came to help. GoFundMe was set up. WhatsApp group was set up. But now, as we are saying, as we are talking now, their life is a mess because he was declined. He was declined. And every time I think about him and his story, I say, if there's anybody that I know who is willing to listen to me, I will always be sharing this information. And then they can decide what to do with it. But what has this opportunity done for me? Like I said, I'm a mother of 4. So for me, I cannot take it for granted. I have gained a lot from this opportunity. My business mindset has completely changed because when I was doing all those other things that I showed you that I was doing, I didn't know what I was doing. But when I came here on this opportunity, there's a lot that I have learned. There's a lot that I have gained. I have gained a lot, right? So that's why for me, I cannot exchange it for anything. Look at this. 3 months, making almost 60,000 as a homemaker, as a stay-home mom. When I said that I cannot trade it for anything, this is what I mean. When I go share this information with others and help the community, this is how much I make. The month of October, look at that. In 2 weeks, in 2 days, in 1 week, I made over 16,000 taking care of my kids at home. This is what this opportunity can do for you. In the last year, this year, the whole year, this is how much I've made. And this is how much my team has made. When I look at this, I see, and it doesn't stop there. It has helped me to give back to the community. Last festive season, I was able to send some money back home to have, to give these kids Christmas. This is what this amazing opportunity can do for you. When you join this opportunity, when I came here on this platform, I realized that I am in the business for myself, but not by myself. Every time I come here, I get to this point, I become so emotional. Why? Because I think about my life as a stay-home mom, and now I see myself rubbing shoulders with millionaires, with multi-millionaires. And I'm like, where would I even ever meet these people? In my kitchen? Just think about it. But when you come here, this is what this opportunity can do for you. Look at all these people. These are all multimillionaires. This is the kind of mentorship and training, and the people that you meet and the connections that you meet on this platform is amazing. When we say that you want the business for yourself, but not by yourself, this is what we mean. I'm always wondering, where would I ever meet these people? Now, everything that you do, every effort that you do in this business, on this platform, you're gonna get rewarded. You're gonna be recognized, and you're gonna be celebrated. As a stay-home mom, there's nobody that can celebrate you. There's nobody that can recognize you. Maybe apart from your husband and your kids, that nobody else knows your importance. Nobody else knows your value. Nobody else knows what you can do. Nobody else what you're capable of doing. But here, I get celebrated publicly. So that's why I decided to plant my flag here. Every little effort you do, everything that you do, you get recognized, you get rewarded, you get celebrated. And all of us as human beings, that's one thing that we like, right? That's one thing that we like. What are you doing for others? Dr. Melvis asked, what are you doing for others? For me, I'm also helping other people on the team. I'm also helping other people. I'm holding their hands. Shout out to Team Legacy Fountain, who are on the call, and those who are not. I'm holding their hands to the top because somebody has held my hand to the top. And that's why, to me, that's another way of giving back to the community. The leaders on my team, shout out to them. These are my leaders that I recently promoted. And this is another one that is coming up, the next MD coming up. I'm helping others. What are you doing for others? How are you helping others? Whose hand are you holding today? That's the question you should ask yourself. So tonight, you have to make a decision. Because when I was growing up, my mom used to tell me that I was born looking like my parents, like my mom. But when I die, I will die looking like my decisions. What decisions are you making? What decisions are you making today? Make a decision tonight to protect yourself and your loved ones, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. Tomorrow is not promised to us. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So you better do it now while we are still here, while you still can be able. Your community needs you. It needs you, because we cannot go help your community because we don't know that your community. We don't know your people. But when you come here and join us, we help you to go and help them. We show you how to go and help them. Put in time, work, and trust the process, because it's going to happen. And that's why we are taking this information from city to city, from state to state, and there's big event coming up, and you are all invited. If you are not planning to come, start planning today, because it's going to be amazing, and we cannot wait to see you there. What next? From here, go to the person who invited you and ask them how you can get started. Thank you so much, Mr. Fombo, and thank you everybody for your kind attention. I yield it back to you, sir. Thank you.
What a story we just heard tonight. Now, I have a question for you, Mary. Usually I don't ask a question. The first picture you showed, somebody was on coma. Did you say that was you?
Yes, sir. That was me.
Unbelievable. You have to look at this, and you're making $158,000 annually from the comfort of your home, taking care of your children. And then I compared that to my own life, a nurse practitioner. I was making $115,000, working 5 days a week with $70,000 in school loan, and getting toast from one job to the other, and getting write-ups every single day. Compare that to the peace of mind and the families you touch every single day, and the impact on the community. There's a reason why God and everything happened, that you are sick and you bounce back untouched, full function. Because there is so much you have to accomplish on this earth. There are so many people out there waiting for you, because only you alone will be able to touch them, touch their heart, and share this information with them. What a blessing to have you, and what an impact you're creating in the community. Now, I have 2 more minutes. I want to share, because you saw Mervis as a university professor, university faculty, compare what she's getting paid at her job to what we do here. You've also now seen Mary do the same thing. Now, there are so many families out there that you need to answer this call to impact their lives. When you do, you will get rewarded the same way. Now, if you're an SMD, we're going to have an SMD meeting right after this at 10 p.m. for the SMDs. Now, you're looking at this, you saw Mary and Melvin showed you how much they were getting paid. But I want you to realize this: some people get paid more, some people get paid less. Because what I'm showing you here is how much people were paid in 1 month. 300,000, 280,000. Are we living in the same country? Are we living in the same country? If you are looking for an opportunity, please stop looking for an opportunity. If you have been praying for an opportunity, today is the day to pray for something else. After today, do not pray for a financial opportunity, because there is nothing else better than what is now in front of you. A stay-home mom, more than $158,000 annually. A professor, high class, the same, making more money helping families than they're making in a corporate setup. Now, in this case, this is how much people are making in 1 month: 208,000. The last name is from Burundi, 57,000, a nurse practitioner in California. There are so many people who are on this journey, and all I'm showing you, as you see, is how much they were paid in the month of December alone. And for so many of these people, there were 1,000 plus on this zone. Once upon a time, all these individuals came on a Zoom like this. The difference is open-mindedness versus being close-minded. Because they were open-minded, their story changed. The same is true for me. I came, and every time I hear the story of Mary, like you heard me say, I don't undermine the capacity of working as a stay-home mom. That is a very difficult job because when my wife leaves me at home with the kids, I know what the heck of a job it is. But to imagine that she is staying at home, taking care of her children, and making more money than me, who is being called a doctor, oh, we got a problem. That is painful. Because in the end, I went to school because I was looking for money. It wasn't for the title, it wasn't for the white suit or the white jacket or the stethoscope. It was because I wanted to be able to get ahead financially. That's all I went to school for. But that I could have also do the same thing by staying at home, like Mary is doing. That's why this opportunity is for everybody. Those at the top, those at the bottom. I work just to get paid $5,000 in a month. And Mary is getting paid 3 times that sometimes. So as you can see, these are the people on the same journey of helping families. Maybe for you, all you want is an extra 1,000, an extra 2,000, an extra 3,000 every single month. This is the story of that success. We are now down to number 1,000 on the list who got paid $2,000 in the month of December doing this on the side. Will you answer the call? If you do, we are World Financial Group. We are all about collective success. We want to make sure any person who is hungry for an opportunity knows about this. In America, these are the companies we work with. In Canada, the same. In 2019, these were the high earners in the company in 2019. Now look at where we are in 2025. 2025. Time flies. When you hear this, do not leave from here and say, I want to verify what this is all about. Then you call your brother, you call your sister, you call your friend. Do you know about WG when everything is crystal clear right in front of you? Your story will be true. Your story will be that of their story. This is the entire company. Now look at our own hierarchy. This is who is making $1 million annually in our hierarchy. They all came from the low end. Nurses, nurse aides. And this year, we're going to promote 16 more millionaires in the hierarchy. Talk about changing the status of the middle class. Nowhere else is this possible. So if you're looking at this, I have been here for 8 years. Everyone else has been here for about 4 years. If you're asking, I wish I was there in the beginning, then how do you fix that problem? Just go ahead and start today. We get paid 9 times in a month. We have tremendous bonuses, retirement income. You own your book of business. You have a leave of absence privileges. You start having stocks with a parent company called Aegon free just for you. We have profit sharing, and this business you're building can transfer from you to your spouse to your children. When you fall sick or you die, your spouse takes over the business. The same happens to your spouse, your children take over. So you're working and you're building a true business that is for you and your family. Can you now see the reason why our children are always with us? That's the reason. We can do this in America and Canada, and all you need is a comfort of your home as exemplified by the story of Mary. How long does it take to get licensed? It's an easy examination. All it takes is 2 days to study. Not 2 years, not 2 weeks, 2 days. If you're on the US side. On the Canadian side, 2 weeks and you're licensed, and your story will never be the same again. The license comes from the government. Now, this is how far we've come, and this is how much work is left to be done. When you get licensed, more comes with it. Sneakers, custom made every year just for you. You now own a true business for which you can enjoy the tax loopholes for entrepreneurs. We go on vacations paid for. We're getting ready to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks paid for by the company. There we go to the Bahamas. There we travel to Mexico. Everything taken care of. Where else is this possible? Only here. As we close, a special announcement for our convention coming up in just 2 weeks from now. All roads, Saturday, February 7th. We are just 2 weeks away. All roads leads to Plano Event Center in Dallas, Texas. You know a brother, you know a friend, you know a sister, you know a colleague. Let them be in this hall on this day. An American dream will be right in front of them. We'll be able to help them and share with them all of the information. With that being said, happy Martin Luther King Day. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you again next time. SMDs, we have a meeting right after this.
Mama said, fulfill the prophecy, be something great. Go make a legacy, manifest destiny. Back in the days, we wanted everything, wanted everything. Mama said, burn your biographies, rewrite your history, light up your wildest dreams, museum victories. Every day, we wanted everything, wanted everything. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars, but I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a time, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high
When I dance, they call me Macarena, and the boys they say que soy buena. They all want me, they can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me. Move with me, chant with me, and if you could, I'll take you home with me.
Hala tu cuerpo, alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Hala tu cuerpo, alegría, Macarena, Macarena. Hala tu cuerpo, alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Hala tu cuerpo, alegría, Macarena, Macarena.
Now don't you worry about my boyfriend, the boy whose name is Vitorino. I don't want him, couldn't stand him, he was no good, so I... Now, come on, what was I supposed to do? He was out of town, and his two friends were so fine.
Hala tu cuerpo, alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Hala tu cuerpo, alegría, Macarena, Macarena. Hala tu cuerpo, alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena.